Bien, je félicite également Madame Henriette Magnier-Simon pour la communication de son analyse des concepts. Je voudrais situer cet exercice dans le processus de la recherche. Quand on fait de la recherche, c'est parce qu'on veut répondre à une question. On pose une question et il y a un processus qu'on met en place pour obtenir la réponse à cette question. La question est une articulation interrogative des concepts qui décrivent un problème. Et la réponse à cette question passe par l'observation ou la mesure de ces concepts. Il est donc important qu'un travail d'analyse des concepts soit fait pour en avoir une compréhension approfondie et pour pouvoir les observer et les mesurer. Donc si on fait une analyse de concepts, c'est parce qu'on voudrait comprendre quelles sont les caractéristiques, qu'est-ce qui caractérise ce concept, qu'est-ce qui permet de l'observer, qu'est-ce qui influence ce concept et quels sont les résultats de la présence de ce concept. Donc, vous connaissez cet exercice-là à travers le déroulement des concepts, n'est-ce pas? Et à travers le cadre conceptuel. Vous allez retrouver ça dans vos travaux. Donc, c'est cet exercice qu'elle nous a livré et qui nous a permis de comprendre que la femme réparée de fistule est complexe parce que la fistule est une déchirure biopsychosociale. La chirurgie va réparer la déchirure biologique, elle ne va pas réparer la déchirure psychologique et sociale. Et voilà où prend toute l'importance de l'infirmière parce qu'elle devrait accompagner, soutenir cette femme réparée afin que celle-ci retrouve son autonomie dans sa communauté. C'est tout ça le sens de son travail. Donc nous voulons l'encourager, la féliciter et lui souhaiter bon courage pour des résultats très probants. Sans transition, nous allons prendre la dernière intervention qui est celle de Madame Ingrid Fabiola Guénier, qui a travaillé sur l'élaboration d'un programme de résilience pour les enfants souffrant de cancer. Le titre est en anglais, Elaboration of a Resilience Program for Families with a Child Suffering from Cancer. Elle est parfaitement bilingue, donc je ne sais pas la langue qu'elle va choisir pour communiquer. Donc, je vous prie d'écouter attentivement parce qu'elle vous donne un ensemble d'interventions à mobiliser pour la résilience des familles d'enfants vivant avec un cancer. Je dois vous dire que je suis très fier de cette... vous allez dire que parce que c'est la résilience ou non? Mais je suis quand même fier. Ok.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for giving me the floor. So my presentation is all about the development of an assisted resilience program for families with a child suffering from cancer in Yaoundé. As defined earlier, resilience is the ability to bounce back after a psychological trauma or a severe adversity. It occurs naturally in some people, while others may need the intervention of health personnel, and that is termed assisted resilience. So, as a plan of our presentation, we have an introduction, the problem, the methodology, the results, and the conclusion. So, during recent years, chronic diseases have encroached on infectious diseases, and with a high morbidity and mortality related to cancer. Pediatric cancer, according to WHO 2022, constitutes 12% of mortality rate in the world and 60% in Cameroon. Despite recent advancement in therapy, the management remains a major challenge for families. Families with pediatric cancer experience multiple challenges, being biopsychosocial or financial. We can cite insecurity, fear of the unknown, anxiety, poor interactions, and destabilization of the family system. Some of these families succeed to adapt positively, while others may need the intervention of health personnel to overcome the adversity through assisted resilience. So, to be able to carry out this work, we use a developmental research, which normally comprises 5 phases. That is, we have the phase of the analysis of the problem, the review of existing solution, the construction and validation of a logic model, the pilot phase, the implementation and the evaluation phase. But this study was limited to the 3 first phases. So, for each of the phases, we use different methodological approach. So, concerning the first phase, which was the analysis of the problem, we use a multi-case qualitative study where we recruit 3 families and also 8 healthcare personnel. The sampling technique was purposeful, and the interview guide was the tool used for data collection. And to be able to come out with categories, we use content analysis. During the second phase, we had the review of existing solution, and we used action research. And the population or the participants were family members, healthcare personnel, and we still use an interview guide, and the data were analyzed through content analysis. During the third phase, which is the construction and validation of the logic model, we used the Delphi method, where we recruited 12 experts, being a mixture of various health personnel, nurses, doctors, psychologists, social workers, which were recruited through a snowball sampling technique. And we also used validation grids, which had also as, in addition to the components, they were giving scores according to the pertinence, the completeness, and the clarity of interventions. So, during the first phase, which was the problem analysis, we could have risk factors, and risk factors are usually defined as adversities. So we had anxiety, family comorbidity. We could have a family that was both suffering from cancer, HIV, and hepatitis. We had lack of social support, altered family processes, limited accessibility to services, lack of inadequate family resources, deficiency in knowledge, and the representation of disease. Then, at the same time too, those families will also express their protective factors, which are defined as strength that helps to mitigate the effects of the risk factors. So some of the strengths include improvement of the child condition, the meaning given to the disease, the increased knowledge on the disease condition, optimism, religion or spirituality, support network, and family reorganization. It is worth noted that they identify risk factors and problems and protective factors were formulated following the nursing diagnosis formulation according to NANDA 2022. So during the second phase, we did a triangulation of both empirical intervention and experimental intervention, which brought us that for each of the problems, we could have an intervention. We could cite family care approach for anxiety, promoting family communication in reorganization, support of families in the acceptance process, provision of customer information on health services, counseling, providing health education, networking, and lobbying by health personnel, in addition to case management. We could have a modeling of the logic model that was at the end. From the expert, we could have an interjudge agreement score of 90.27%. And this logic model comprises the general objective of the program, the problems faced by the families, the etiologic factors, the manifestation, the objective, the interventions, the evaluation tools, and result indicators. So, in conclusion, we use for this study 3 methodological approaches, and at the end we could have an interjudge agreement score of 90.27%. Taking into consideration the adversity that pediatric cancer poses to families, we can say that bringing interventions will empower families with a child suffering from cancer through the resilience process to overcome it. Thank you for your keen attention.